Hey guys, welcome to Ray and Lonnie's Reviews. This is our review on Power Rangers, the movie that just came out.
Did this come out?
Well, it just came out like last week. I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty damn new.
Okay.
It is definitely a nostalgia piece. If you're a 90s kid, grew up with the Power Rangers, with the Mighty Morphin or the Zeos, all those types of dudes. This is definitely a movie that you'll like. Do you want to give them you want to give them the thesis of the movie?
Oh, you go ahead. You're better at
Okay,
I'll
well,
probably talk too much.
the plot is basically this. It's a group of teenagers who meet up under certain circumstances, and they end up discovering this rock. Well, they don't do it together. It's more so that the Blue Ranger, or I forgot his name, but the Blue Ranger, Billy.
How could you forget?
Billy discovers it, or he discovers it through his dad. His dad was doing research, and I think he passed or he left. Something happened. It's not necessarily explained, but he finds this rock. He figures out how he's gonna do it because they're already doing construction, which is very convenient. And they find the rocks.
No, they're mining, no?
Oh well, either way.
Either construction or mining, something like that.
So they're all in the same area at the same time. It's kind of a big coincidence, but I mean it's part of the story, so it's no big deal. But they find out that Zordon was one of the first Power Rangers, or Power Ranger set before them, and he set the stones to find worthy fighters to or a worthy group to stop later invasions, and it chooses those kids. But when the movie starts, they don't necessarily get to morph, because apparently they're not worthy. So they're trying to bond and get.
Well, they're not ready.
Well,
Not
they
necessarily not
seem-
worthy, but not ready. No, because they have to train themselves mentally, physically, open up in order for them to be ready to morph.
Okay, well you do it.
Well, you're already like halfway done. So.
Anyways, Rita Repulsa somehow comes back, and
She still
She's-
has the green stone.
yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but I'll get to that later. She comes back, and basically she tells the Yellow Ranger that you guys are I'm gonna destroy you guys, like yelling shit, stuff like that, and then she resurrects Goldar by going to the local jewelry shops and stealing all the gold, and then putting it into her staff, and then putting like all the gold together.
She's just collecting gold everywhere she goes.
Yeah, and she kills people. Like it's a little tripped out. And around that time is when the Power Rangers like get their stuff together. They're like, oh, we're a team, and so they're fighting these rock monsters, the putties, and they're doing pretty decent. I mean, the putties were what they trained against, so that's kind of convenient. And then Rita Repulsa's, they fight Rita Repulsa, they beat her, and then she gets into Goldar, which is, I guess it would technically be her Megazord. And then they get into their Zords, and they're trying to fight him, but they can't do anything. So they get together after he pushes them into this like pit of fire. I think it was like to the center of the earth, like before or something like that, because it was really hot for them. Like their robots were about to burn up.
Yeah, because maybe either it was like
It's either hell or it's the core. It's one of the two.
Well, I mean, because the crystal is there. Maybe it was the energy from the crystal.
But it was
You know,
super deep.
Yeah.
And
so
when it got out of the hole, like that robot was pretty tall, about as tall as it would
Yeah.
probably take to get to the center of the earth,
Okay.
or something like that. But either way, so they come out, they fight. The fight is super quick, and then yeah, like they win after like a few punches. It really wasn't that big. And then I guess the end was the after credit scene was they name drop Tommy, and you
he's
get
the
an
new
idea.
Green Ranger.
Yeah. So
That's basically the plot of the story, in a nutshell. So now, just to go into depth of some of the stuff that we like, dislike. Well, first off, the characters. I liked how they were diverse and they were each, like they were all very individual in their own way, and like you had, you had the minorities. You had a lesbian girl. You had an autistic guy. You had the African American. You had an Asian. You had and I liked how they showed the culture from the Asian guy, the Black Ranger. They showed him actually speaking in his native language, which is always really cool. Anything cultural, I love. And they do all these, they make it very diverse without adding any labels, which they kind of make it known. The lesbian girl, when she came out to the rest of the Rangers, whenever they were bonding together, she didn't just come out and say, I'm a lesbian or I'm into girls. Someone asked her, do you have girlfriend problems, boyfriend problems? And then they asked her, do you have girlfriend problems? And she didn't say yes or no. She just said how her family likes to put labels and how she's struggling with this issue. The autistic kid.
the only thing with one of the other things with the lesbian girl is I'm not sold that she's a lesbian. I
Maybe
feel
she's
like
bisexual.
yeah, because
Well, yeah,
like,
it doesn't
throughout
say.
the movie, like it gives you hints that she kind of likes the Black Ranger. Like they were like
Oh, yeah?
pretty, yeah, they were pretty close.
Well,
And-
it basically
in
just.
some scenes, and I mean, she wasn't like that with the Blue Ranger or the Red Ranger. So I mean,
You just said she was like that with the Blue Ranger.
no, I said the Black Ranger.
Oh, I heard blue. I heard black. But I mean, either way, it just.
You heard black and you thought blue.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Crap. Well, basically, it expresses how she's having some.
Yellow Ranger.
It expresses how she's having some issues with her sexuality without actually saying it, and how she's in that predicament. The autistic kid, he just he's apologizing for how he's acting with the Red Ranger. I forgot his name. Well, when they were.
I forgot too.
I don't know.
I think he's Tommy also.
Tommy. Oh,
Yeah, because I think there's two Tommies. I might be wrong.
or the Red Ranger, and Red Ranger, and
Blue Ranger.
and he's apologized for how he's acting to the Red Ranger because obviously he's talking too much or been thinking too much and this and that, and he just apologized and saying that he's on the spectrum. So he doesn't give himself the label of being autistic. He just says he's on the spectrum, and that means it's a diagnosis, which is commonly known as the spectrum of being autistic. So it's really in with the times now, in terms of being diverse, in terms of bringing awareness. So that's a good thing. I liked that. How did you feel about the diversity of the characters and how they played out the roles?
Well, you summed everything up. Pretty much, I thought the way they did it worked really well, but at the same time, it was I mean, the more I think about it, the more I like it. Like, the first time we did this review, I was like, I don't know. But when I think about it more and more, like, they did it pretty well. I mean, people from other reviews that I've seen or read, it seems like people didn't like it because it wasn't outright. Like, they were upset because
They didn't come out and say.
basically they're like, the Yellow Ranger wasn't gay enough. And it's like, okay, like, what do you want her to do? Kiss a girl in the movie? Like, she doesn't have to do that. Like, that, if anything, I feel like that's just,
It's enough, like, coming out and saying, like, or at least hinting that you're having troubles with your sexuality. And in a very subtle way, without, you know...
I think it's the way that people are going at it is more of an agenda and not necessarily, like, equal representation. And,
like, that shouldn't be the focus. This character shouldn't be known as this label. And I think that's what
like,
the movie was going
Power
for.
Rangers.
Yeah.
It's not the lesbian ranger and the other Power Rangers. It's the Power Rangers. They're together. Nothing against, like, lesbians or gays or anything. I'm just saying. The other thing is the way they went about it was really good. Like, they didn't have to say too much, they didn't have to do too much, but they said it. Like,
without saying it, without putting the, and I think that was the dialogue in the movie was, you know, saying
it was good in the beginning, and then it just died. Like, after, like, the first hour or so, maybe hour and a half, I don't know how long the movie was, but it just, the writing kind of went to shit a little bit.
It just got very cheesy at the end.
Super cheesy.
They
used the Go-Go Power Rangers, and the thing is, they remade it, but they didn't remake it good. Like, they should have just been like,
Go-Go Power Rangers.
they should have just left the old one. Like, the old one was perfect. Like,
but like, when we walked out of the theater, you know, we talked about, I think that was one of the first things we talked about, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they put it. And when they play that song is whenever all the Power Rangers each got into their
Megazords, their Zords.
The Zords. And they were all running together, and in that shot where they're all running together to the scene of you know, where the antagonist is at in the movie, and they're ready to go fight. They're all running together. That's when the song was playing. It was just very, very cheesy. But I think the point of that was to be nostalgic and to make us laugh. You know, us 90s kids who grew up with that. You know, it.
They
like,
just didn't do
like
it
in our,
well.
yeah,
Like,
but like
how
in
can
our
you make
section,
it cheesier than it already was?
Like,
it was the cheesiest. It's
but,
like,
okay, but I think they were just doing that just to put it in there. Like, yes, it could have been done better, but in our section, there was just a bunch of kids, like younger teenagers, and we were the only ones laughing and, like, remembering, being nostalgic about this, about that song and about the old shows, like the old Power Ranger shows. We're the only ones cracking up. We're like, oh my gosh, and like, no, everyone else is silent, and we're like, dude, like that was for us, like, for us who grew up with that. I feel like that moment was for us. Could it have been better? Yes. I was personally expecting it for the creators of this movie to make like a trap version of the old theme song, or, like, you know, an EDM version of the theme song, because that's, you know, that's you know, what everyone's doing nowadays. So I expected that to happen, but they didn't. They actually kept it, like,
retro.
yeah, very, very retro. And that was, like, the only part of the whole movie where they actually honored the old Power Rangers. So it's either hit or miss. Either you like it or you don't. I thought, I'm a big cheese ball. I love it. I got a good laugh out of it. He got a good laugh out of it too, you know. And it was made to, you know, have. I feel like they did that so that way it's a memorable moment in that movie, and it worked. I feel like what they were going for, it worked.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell you what I like and don't like. What I liked was, I like the nostalgia. I like the suits. I thought they looked cool. I thought they looked a little bit glittery, like they just made a
Like an Iron Man type version of it, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't like the whole chest piece. It like I don't know why, but
the stone was at.
No, the stone was in the belt, but for some reason the chest piece, like there's like a diamond like shape. I didn't like that. I thought the design was a little weird. I wish they would have went with maybe like a metal, like a onyx black with their colors, but like darker, like more like this type of red. This would be the Ranger, not
like candy apple red, I guess you would call, or hot rod red.
Yeah, like an Iron Man type thing, and not the girl's Barbie doll hot rod red car. Like it was sparkly pink. I didn't like the sparkles. That's just me. But the suits look cool.
I thought they looked
but
cool.
I mean, like I like the suits. It's just those are the only things I don't like about them. And another thing I didn't like is that there were a few plot holes that I noticed. But I mean, like you have to realize that as if you're watching this movie, this is not for adults. Like, yeah, they might have some pieces that are. They might have some pieces that are for the adults because you have to keep them entertained too. But it seemed like it was mainly for the kids because like it seemed like the whole beginning was like, okay, here's for you people who are nostalgic about this show, and then the last like half hour, maybe 45 minutes was like, okay, this is for the kids. Like, this is for you too, but not so much for you. Like, because it was dark, and then all of a sudden, like, it started...
super cheesy.
Yeah, it got super cheesy. It started to make less sense. There was a scene where Rita Repulsa, she eats a donut, and it's like she does a Squidward thing. She's like, her teeth go like this, and she bites like a little bit.
An itty bitty bite. A big old donut, super slow motion, takes an itty bitty bite.
It's like, man, you know you're not gonna eat a fucking Krispy Kreme donut like that. You put that in your mouth, eat it.
She like opened her mouth up super wide and just took the itty, like the smallest bite ever. Like, okay.
Yeah. So,
definitely product placement.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme. Which I love Krispy Kreme.
Another
Get free donuts every time you go. I love it.
Another thing I didn't like was that they didn't even try to revive the Blue Ranger when he died, which didn't make sense. Another thing that didn't make sense.
They didn't try CPR. Like,
they didn't try anything on him.
Yeah,
he was only in the water for 30
just
seconds.
Like, wake up! Are you okay? He's dead.
No, nigga, I'm not okay. He's dead. He's dead. But no, he was only in the water for 30 seconds. How can you drown in 30 seconds? Like, that doesn't make sense. 2, they didn't try to revive him. 3, Rita Repulsa somehow came back to life, even though she was hit with a blast of a meteor.
The same blast.
That killed Zordon. If it killed him, it should have killed her.
But thinking about it, like, she had the stone.
So did he.
No, but he buried the stones in the ground. He sacrificed himself to protect this. So he even put his stone in the ground and protected it and had him like kind of like, I guess he kind of encased them in like a glass material underground and hoped that one day future Rangers
that glass formed over years.
Oh, well, okay. Well, he hid them underground so that way when the right time comes, the right people can become the new Rangers, this and that. And I think that the power that those stones hold is able to bring back life, like what happened with the Blue Ranger, right? How the original Red Ranger wanted to do, right?
Well, no, for some reason they had to both get on the things when they turned into Rangers. That way he could come back. But
Well,
the
maybe
Blue Ranger
the-
had died, so he had just given his life back to the Blue Ranger. Which still didn't make sense. It's like, how did she just come back? Like she.
Well, that's
they
what I'm
didn't-
saying. The power of the stone that she had, the green, because she still had the green stone.
But it had nothing to do with the stones. The stones couldn't bring you back. Because the Yellow Ranger had the stone when she first died. The original Yellow Ranger. So, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, how were they revived? She came back
But
out of nowhere.
Zordon
Like,
didn't.
yeah. It didn't make
I don't
sense.
know.
And if so, like, why couldn't the Blue Ranger come back on his own? He had the blue stone.
Well, because
It was-
he wasn't a ranger yet. They technically weren't rangers yet. Like they were training to be rangers, but they technically
No,
weren't.
they had. Oh yeah, they had.
They technically weren't. No, because they.
But either way, the Red Ranger couldn't revive himself.
Yeah. Well.
So that doesn't make sense. She Rita Repulsa really didn't even fight, honestly. Like,
She had all her little minions fight for her.
yeah, which it was. I mean, it was cool, but it's like, well, I expected a little more from her, because she's supposed to be like this big threat, and with the ending, it was super quick. Like the Zord fights. Yeah, I'm just telling you a bunch of bad stuff.
Well,
The Zord fight was super quick because they basically just punched back and forth after they turned into Megazord, and then that was it. Like he died.
It was very slow motion.
Yeah.
It was very slow motion.
And that's another thing. Like, I know that they're huge and tall and whatnot, but why are they not quick? Like, they're super slow. And for the Megazord to be humanoid, it doesn't make sense why it's so slow.
It wasn't blocky like the original Power Rangers. It was very humanoid. You know, a lot more sleek. The morphing scene. There wasn't a morphing scene. I wanted a morphing scene, and I wanted to see all the Zords come together and, you know, connect. Like how, I don't know, maybe I'm just being too clingy on the old cartoons or the old.
No, it would have been cool if they
I thought
jumped
so
on
too.
each other's
Yeah,
backs. And,
like how it connects and like, cause that was like a necessity for each episode, like in the old Power Rangers. But they didn't do it, and I wanted that. Because it's Power Rangers. Like, come on.
It's crazy. But I thought the same thing. It was definitely a good movie, or it was definitely a fun movie. I can't say
very
it's
entertaining.
I can't say it's bad, but I can't say it's like good as far as cinematography goes. But it was something that I enjoyed. You don't get bored in it. You just
You see some of the hiccups that you know. You do see some of the mess ups that they had. Yeah.
Another thing I didn't like was that the Megazord was definitely like monochrome. Like he was monochromatic. He didn't have too many colors. I mean, it's not that it needs too many colors.
They weren't as bright as he wanted them to be. I didn't mind them being so like the colors were pretty like dull. They weren't like shiny they weren't like bright colors like this.
Well, I mean,
bright.
I know.
Like the pink was like it wasn't like a bright pink or a hot pink or anything. It was just like a dusty pink.
It's not that. It's just I wish that they had more color to the Megazord to represent what everybody's controlling. Because basically, if you put the colors to the people who are controlling it, like they only controlled like certain sections, and
like one ranger controls this
just
leg,
the hands,
or just this leg, or just this arm, or
it would be just the hand and the hands and the feet.
Yeah, they each controlled a certain part of the Megazord.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to know like this color is this ranger on this foot or whatever, you know, this hand.
The only
yeah.
thing I could say for the next movie, I just hope that they do like the Megazords forming the Zords forming the Megazord. I'd like a different suit, maybe different colors. Not different colors, but like better, more vivid colors, not dark, sparkly colors. I didn't like that.
It's very metallic, but very dark colors.
Like if they were
It's a
gonna go
different
if they were
feel.
gonna go Iron Man, they should have just went Iron Man. There's no point in doing the whole I want to be like Iron Man, but I don't want to be like Iron Man. And
I'm trying to find
they name dropped Tommy, so Tommy's
At the
coming
end.
back, the Green Ranger. People were having a debate online saying that they wish that Tommy was a girl. I don't know how to feel about that because I mean it's not that I have anything against a girl ranger. I mean, but it just why does Tommy have to be a girl? Like
Like this is
Tommy's not a girl's name. Like I don't care what anybody says. I don't know a fucking girl named Tommy. I know Tammy.
Tammy.
Yeah,
Tammy.
but
Yeah, they weren't this bright in the movie.
yeah, they were a lot.
Like if you
darker.
look on Google, that's what it looks like. They were not that bright in color. It's not. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
that vivid.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Tommy's gonna be a guy. Like that's how he's
They
been.
had the original Green Ranger, according to this movie, already a girl.
Yeah, so like, what's the point of him being a girl now? Like, you already have your female Green Ranger, and I mean, if they want to, they could change the White Ranger, which
Yeah, because there's
was
other
Tommy
Rangers
again.
that it's not. There's multiple Rangers that come every now and then in the original Power Rangers that show up whenever they were desperate for help. Like the Silver Ranger, you had
The Black Ranger when they didn't have a Black Ranger.
yeah.
They had silver, black, and gold and white, and then they had a navy blue. And then in the Samurai one where they had like 3 Rangers, I'm ashamed to say I even watched it, but there was maroon, there was
Like there's multiple
Baby blue?
ones, yeah.
dark blue, and then I forgot which colors they had, but I think they had a yellow or something like that. But there's different Rangers for different seasons, but this is this movie which is going off Mighty Morphin, and I appreciate it for its nostalgia. I don't see a reason for it needing to change, especially like gender swapping. There's no point in doing that when it's already had a precursor. So like, if you want a show or a movie where it's like you got a gender swap, then you might as well make something new and original, or at least new. That way you get everything you want, and you don't have to change anything of something old. But yeah, so as far as this movie, I give it a high matinee. And you?
Yeah, I'm stuck between a high matinee, low full price. Definitely worth seeing in the theaters.
Definitely.
It's really entertaining. It is very nostalgic, and it does bring a lot of new, like in with the time. I don't know what it's very in with the times at the same time. At the same time as honoring the retro older Power Rangers. The robot was really cute. I really like the robot.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
played his part very, very well.
Yeah, somebody was saying they didn't like the robot. I was like,
He was a
what?
badass. He
Yeah.
was super cool. Like, he
Another-
could be a ranger if he wanted to.
Yeah, honestly, I hope that he gets to fight in one of the movies. I hope they make him like, you know how whenever the robots form a bigger, or the bad guys, how they become bigger when they die. Like, I hope that he can become bigger and fight at least once.
He was very cute, very funny, always kept the environment light, and or the atmosphere light. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyways, but yeah, he was such a great character.
Super nerd.
Yeah, and super funny. You know, everything he said and did, you enjoyed. It brought a smile to your face, and I really liked it. So yeah, we really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I just hope next time, or she was saying she hopes next time that they have the grass explode behind them.
Yes.
We were hoping to see that when he punched the
Some type of explosion.
the Goldar. We wanted to see like grass explode for no fucking reason. Like,
Turn, spin.
yeah.
No,
We
it
don't
was,
look at explosions because we're too cool.
it was super cute. I guess it wouldn't make sense because they were in the city and it was all concrete, so there was no grass anyway. But still, some type of explosion behind them. You know, yeah.
Sparks.
Sparks.
But yeah, so that's all for now. Like, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching our video.
Bye.
Bye.